If you're watching the live, or if you're not watching live, excuse me, we have a Mount Rushmore. That seems like that's been a big thing coming up lately, of Mount Rushmores of sports here. But we're going to do one right now. If the NBA had a Mount Rushmore for current players, who deserves to be the fourth spot along Bron, Curry, and KD? I think these guys, all three of those guys, deserve to be up there. So I don't think there's much debating that one. The debate's going to be on the number 4. Now, I do want to ask you a question on this one because there isn't really a thing, and we can make it up as we go because that's what just makes these things fun. Now, how far back are we going with this, and how current? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, does it have to be because LeBron's been?
Let's do it from 2003 when LeBron got drafted.
Okay, so from 2003 till now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So I was trying to figure out, like, how far do we go back? Like, what do we, is it LeBron's rookie year and forward? Because they all drafted around about the same year, give or take 1 or 2 years, but they were all round about each other in here.
Yeah, so, but remember, it says current players.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I'm fine with that. My issue I'm having with 2 guys, and I'm not sure what I want to put up, and one I feel like it might be too early for them to go up. So I'm gonna have you go first, though.
This one was really tough for me, man. I went through the NBA list from the reason why I said 2003 because I went from 2003 to this current year, and there was a lot of players that I wanted to put up, but they weren't current players. There was a lot of players I wanted to put up, but they've only been in the league for like 5 years, so I don't think that puts them up there in a Mount Rushmore. I think it's too early for them, right? But I came down to the decision that I had to put Kawhi Leonard because he won 2 championships with 2 different teams. The second championship was his first year with that team and his only year with that team. So imagine the chemistry that needs to be made, the coaching adaptiveness that needs to be handled by the player because you're having a different coach. The city, living in a different city, living in a different country. Because remember, Toronto's not in the United States, and it's cold as hell over there, boy. Cold as hell. And I've heard on several podcasts with Toronto players that the TSA stuff from going from US to Canada is a pain in the butt sometimes. So that could be mentally draining as well, right? But even then, with the Clippers, he was doing work with the Clippers when he's healthy. Yes, he's been on the injury-prone side after that whole ankle bust against the Golden State Warriors when he was with the San Antonio Spurs. That started a whole trend of injury proneness for him. But when he's out there on the court, he's doing work. And you saw it these playoffs. He killed that Game 7. He had 23 points. Harden is the one that choked, and the rest of the players too. If not, they would be right now playing against OKC. But he did his thing, and I think since he's been in the league, he's been Defensive Player of the Year. He's been 2-time champ. He's been to the playoffs multiple years, more years than he's not been in there. And he's a dog on offense and defense. And I don't think there's 5 players that can stop Kawhi. Like covering Kawhi, I don't think there's 5 players currently that can stop him.
That's a very interesting pick to go up there. I wasn't honestly, that wasn't even crossing my mind at all of Kawhi, but I totally understand your point. I think you brought up some valid points on that one. I didn't think about that one, so that's a good one. Do you have a runner up you want to throw in there too? Was there who was like your number 2 then maybe?
I was thinking James Harden. I was thinking. Like if I go big men as well, I was thinking Anthony Davis. Maybe another point guard. I was thinking CP3. But he hasn't won a chip, but he's done so much for the league and winning as well. When it comes to shooting guards, James Harden, maybe Kyrie. When it comes to forwards, I was thinking Kawhi, and then I was thinking obviously Kevin Durant's up there. Another forward, maybe. Dude, honestly, right now at the top of my head, I don't know, but it was just like those players I was actually thinking about because, like I said, most of the players I was thinking about are not current players, and then the other players I feel like it's too soon for them. It's just like they're too young for me, in a sense.
So I'm going to go with it was a tough decision here, and that's kind of why I was trying to figure out how far we're going back, how we're going with that or something, because I feel like the 2 guys that I was going to put up here. are relative in the aspect of they haven't been in the league for forever, but just they've been so dominant. So my two guys were going to be Giannis and Jokic. And I know a lot of people will have maybe some flack with Jokic, but that's who I would put up here is Jokic. Jokic is obviously has the 2-time MVP. He's an NBA champion. He's arguably one of the greatest players of all time at this point in time in his career. I think that his game is so unique. He can do so many different things on the court, but I think it's just his appearance that makes him look like he's, a dad out there, the dad bod god they call him, obviously, So I think that if he was chiseled up like LeBron and all this other stuff, and he played the way he played, people are like, oh my God, there would be no doubt about it. But he's different. He's different than all these other guys. And I think that his numbers, and he's arguably one of the greatest big man passers. He can shoot the three. He can literally do anything and everything on the court. He's basically a point guard in a center's body. So I think I would have to put Jokic up there, in which I know he is relatively new in the league, but he's not brand new in the league, if you know what I mean. So mine would be Jokic, and I think you can obviously make a case for Giannis being up there as well. Giannis has been one of the most dominant players in the last decade or so since he came in the league and just transformed his body and gotten more muscular. He's just been a force to reckon with, and he does have the chip to back his name. So my two guys I would have put in that spot, to me, just going off of just how good they've been in the last few years, Giannis and Jokic, man. But I would put Jokic in my spot here, man.
I think you hit it on the head with Jokic. I think he's the correct answer here, right? I think he's the correct. I just looked at more of how long a person has been in the league, so that's why I went with Kawhi. But Jokic, bro, he's the best player. He's been the best player the last 4 years, in my opinion. And
I agree.
He's the best player right now. I just think that Shea deserves the MVP, because of what he did and where his team is at. But even then, Jokic is the best player. Like, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I think Jokic is going to turn into like that LeBron fatigue that LeBron could arguably be in the MVP category race every year that he was in the league, but people just get fatigued and you're going to see something different. So you'll find little nitpicking things for you to find. And I think Jokic is going to be the same way, that his numbers and everything that he does on the court will put him in MVP categories, but eventually you just get kind of tired of having the same guys that are in the category. So you might just get a little fatigue on it,
which is whack. But
it sucks. It sucks, but I think people that really watch NBA and stuff will appreciate his game. And he's just an interesting guy too. Like, his interviews crack me up. Like, he's like the furthest from actually like a NBA basketball player. They ask him, like, what do you want to do when you're done the offseason? I just want to go ride my horses. Like, he's just not the typical guy.
Imagine another guy, his big ass on a horse.
Right. It's wild to me, man. It's wild to me. So, as just a recap here, it's just so we can recap it. If you're listening to it, and you might have caught it tail end here. For the audio, it is the Mount Rushmore of since LeBron's era. So it is LeBron, KD, Durant, and my pick is going to be Jokic.
My pick is going to be Kawhi Leonard.